Hello, and welcome to this week's business broadcast. That's a new thing I just made up on the spot. How are you doing? Let me know. I feel like you might be seeing too much of me this week. I'm excited to chat with you today. So if it's your first time watching, before we dive in, let me know in the comments so I can officially welcome you. If you're watching the replay, let me know that too, so I can come back and say hello. And if you're watching live, make sure you say hello. And if you haven't logged in through StreamYard, it's just going to show me user, basically will be your name. So if you can say hi and let me know who I'm saying hi to, that would be great, because I really prefer to address people by their name. Someone's saying good morning. I'm not sure who, but good morning. It's great to see you here. All right, so I'm going to be quick today. I prepared this chat today to talk about the two things that you're selling people into. There's only two things you're ever selling people into. And I'm going to share with you what those are so that you can figure out if that's really what you want to be selling, and are your marketing efforts, your copy, etc., aligned with that. So are you ready to dive in? Okay, we'll get some more comments. Hi, Jess. Hi, Jane. It's nice to see you. How are you? Hopefully you're having a great start to your day. I know I am. It's nice and sunny here, which is nice for a change, and a little bit cooler than it should be for the summer, which is also my preference, not everyone else's. Anyways, okay, so we have two things that we sell people into. And if we're having, so the reason I'm sharing this is if you're having to work harder than you know you should, like you think, well, I've created this amazing offer, I know it's really helpful, why isn't it selling? Why is it harder than I feel it should be to get people into this particular offer? Why do I feel like I have to explain myself too much? Why do I feel like I'm attracting someone that's not really aligned? Like, they're lovely people, of course, but they're not really aligned for either who your company serves or who the offer is a fit for. Then there could be some energetic mismatches here that I'm going to share with you. So there are only two things people buy, and we all buy the same way. So the one way that we buy is we are aware of a problem. Most people are not problem aware, okay? But most people will either buy because they know they have a problem, or because they want to be invited into possibility, even if they're having problems. So as an example, when you're speaking to, let's say, a multi-six-figure earner or higher, some of their problems might be that they're bottlenecked in their company, that they haven't given themselves permission to extract themselves from tasks that they've convinced themselves are the only person that can do it, until, of course, at some point they delegate it and go, wow, all those years, I didn't think I could delegate this. Turns out I can, right? Obviously, there's some things that we can't, but I'm talking about, I don't know, like, you don't have to be the only coach in your company. You can delegate that to an associate coach. You don't have to be the person that makes offer letters to your high ticket clients. You could have, a customer concierge do that. I mean, there's various ways that we can delegate things. But for a multi-six-figure earner especially, they're going to be bottlenecked. They're going to maybe be somewhat leveraged, but leverage and scale are very different things. So they might know how to create a certain degree of leverage in their business, but they don't know how to scale it. So the problem is that they're bottlenecked, but the possibility that they really want is to scale to 7 figures and higher. So if I speak to a multiple six-figure earner and I keep hammering them over the head with, here's my offer, and here's the problem, and you're going to be stuck forever, and all these people will suffer, and nobody will be able to benefit from your magic, and blah, 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 and everyone will be ahead of you, and I really hammer them with almost this shame. It's going to feel shame-based marketing, right, for them. Then they're going to contract, and they're going to buy into the monkey mind, which is, hey, I'm a smart person. I'm a successful person. There must be something wrong with me. How come I can't figure it out? Because I should be able to figure it all out. And in that contraction, of course, everything contracts. Client attraction contracts, money contracts, etc. It's just the way that energy works. So this is just an example, right? Because it's kind of popped into my head. But anyway, so it is a quote unquote problem, right? It's not that someone at that level would even really view it as a problem, because they still recognize that there's a possibility to be discovered in that problem. But I can understand their problem without hitting them over the head with the problem. I can actually sell them the possibility, knowing that, of course, we're going to have to address some very temporary issues, and I'm saying that in quotations, so that we can get them to the land of possibility, which is where they want to be. They want to feel more expansive. They want to feel that like they have more time freedom. They want to feel more supported. They want to feel like running a business is easier. They want to feel like they're an entrepreneur versus someone that's built themselves into a job. There's a lot of feelings that they want to have that our offer can either deter them away from or invite them into. So when we're dealing with people that are at a certain level of income, again, while they might have problems, another problem might be, and I only share this because I hear this from so many entrepreneurs, I can't do a speaking gig, I can't do video, I can't do a new photo shoot because I have to lose 10 pounds or 20 pounds. That's not true. That's the story that's created because it's not, of course, really about the weight, but they're making the weight the problem. And we know that the weight is not the problem. It's making our bodies and our image the problem. That's the problem. So yes, that is the problem. And do they want to be sold on their problem, or do they want to be sold into possibility? You can sell them on, hey, look at all the money you're leaving on the table because you want to release weight. Here's my 21-day body detox so you can lose 10 pounds overnight, and it's completely healthy, and all the things you're going to sell them on. Or you can send them into the possibility of what life is going to look like when they're not making it about the things that they think it's about. Because even when, and I know this firsthand, even when you lose that 20 pounds, and even when you think, oh, the only reason I'm not doing video, or the only reason I'm not doing a new photo shoot, et cetera, is because of the weight, we all know that's not really the case. It doesn't mean that we can't have that desire. And it doesn't mean we can't calibrate to being in alignment with that desire and honoring it, right? Like, really, we can feel better maybe if we release weight, if that's an issue for us. But it's not, we don't need to be tying everything into it as though it's Grand Central Station, right? And it's the hub of whether we like ourselves or don't like ourselves, and so on and so on. So certain people will respond to that as a problem, and it's genuinely okay. But then understand that if we're selling problems and problem solutions, that we're always going to attract people that only knock on our door when they have problems that they want to solve. And if you like solving problems and you really get people results and you enjoy being marinating in other people's problems all day, and some people really do, then keep marketing to the problem. Truly, if it's working for you and you enjoy it and you get a lot out of it and you enjoy working with an endless stream of clients that are always coming to you being problem focused because you've trained them to be problem focused, because that's the language you're actually using and that's the pain point you're actually marketing to, then keep doing that. That's working. But if you prefer to work with people like I do, who, yes, they recognize that there are going to be some obstacles we need to tackle on our journey towards whatever the goal is, whatever the desire is, but they're possibility focused, right? Possibility focused people look at opportunities. They think out of the box. They're not a martyr of their own choices, and they're not a victim of their own choices. They have a sense of personal responsibility, and they really just want to keep going up and up and up. So if I try to sell a possibility, or sell to a possibility oriented person from a let's fix your problem standpoint, they can't say yes to me. Or I'm actually going to have to, if they do want to work with me just because maybe they like my vibe, but the offer is not really landing, I'm going to have to spend way more energy trying to convince them that they should come on board, because I'm selling them into a paradigm that they don't operate in. They've evolved beyond life is a problem, money is a problem, my body is a problem, everything's a problem. I need to constantly be in fixing mode. I need to keep fixing my stuff because it's a distraction from actually, living my purpose and living in the energy of possibility. And I know this might sound a little bit confronting. It's 11:11 as I say this, so you're welcome. And so, like I said, there's times where there can be real problems. And thank goodness there are businesses out there that solve problems. Like if you're swimming in $500,000 worth of debt, that of course, there's possibility inherent in that, but that person is just so far removed from possibility. They have a dire need in that moment. The weight of that level of debt is so much of a burden that we really do need to address that. And if that's your business and that's your goal, to help as many people get out of debt that are really swimming in debt, then yeah, you have to market to the problem. That's how those people will convert into whatever you're offering. But if you really are a possibility oriented person and you like working with people that think that way, you can still help them with quote unquote problems. But the way in which you communicate what you're offering and why they should step into that really comes from a place of painting a picture of what you're going to help them create and really being invitational. And additionally, marketing from a peer-to-peer kind of mindset, right? Marketing to leaders, not marketing to people that really are happy to either abdicate their knowingness to you, abdicate business decisions to you, abdicate personal responsibility to you, right? There's just a different way in which people move through the world. So hopefully this is helpful. But if you can see how the offers that you create, the actual marketing copy that you're going to write, the way in which you structure your offers, and the types of platforms you use to market those things, and just the voice that you're basically using in those offers is going to determine who comes forward and how easily they come forward. And I share this because I've known this myself too, right? Because we train people how to relate to our business. So at one point, way back in the day in my business, when I had a call me when you need me approach, I would get irritated when people would only come to me with problems. And yes, I'm admitting this, right? I would get irritated, like, oh my goodness, every time I hear from so-and-so, all they have is a freaking problem, a chaos, whatever. Like, are they ever, they keep coming to me, but are they really motivated to actually create an amazing life? Because that's what I want for them. And that's who I enjoy working with. But the truth is, it wasn't their issue. It was my issue. I unknowingly trained them that call me when you need me. So they had to create a need in order to call me. That's not really what I meant. And many of us do this, right? What I meant was, hey, let's just keep booking sessions to keep moving you up and up and up. But I also had a story that I didn't want to seem like the 1-800 psychic hotline that's always happy to encourage you to book yet another reading and siphon your money and so on, right? So I downplayed how often they could come to see me, and I didn't want them to think that I was trying to extort their money from them. So I was doing the no, just call me when you need me. But inadvertently, I was teaching them that the only way they felt like they could book a call, because they didn't want to bother me, of course, because I said, only call me when you need me. That's what they did. So I had about 50% of my clients that were constantly creating fires and, needing an appointment yesterday and needing me to help them put out fires. And then I had this other 50% of my clientele at the time that were actually trying to book calls more frequently than I was really allowing them to, right? I mean, I wasn't not allowing them to, but I wasn't encouraging it. And I was operating from a different paradigm, right? I thought, oh, well, you book these when you need them. Don't book a call if you don't need it. Save your money, right? Well, that's not for me to decide. They wanted to keep going up and up and up. There was a benefit to having all of these Akashic activations and so on that allowed them to keep moving forward. That's why they wanted to keep booking. So these were possibility folks, is what I'm saying, right? And that's really who I preferred to work with, because they were always coming with some new thing that they were creating, and they were expanding and growing. And if you're like me and you're a builder and you like to grow things like food and plants and businesses and so on, we tend to prefer to be around people with a growth mindset. And people that are very problem focused don't have a growth mindset. It doesn't mean that it can't be cultivated. So people that have problems, we can sell them high ticket stuff, but really these are folks that are constantly trying to solve problems with a $27 offer, with a free webinar. They're going around the internet, downloading 75 freebies a day, thinking that somehow that's going to get them to an 8-figure company. And of course, you and I know that's not going to happen, right? There's got to be a certain level of financial investment in ourselves, not to mention time and energy and so on, in order for us to really move the needle. And in part, it's because we need to place value on something. But when we have a growth mindset and we want to work with people with a growth mindset, constantly marketing to the problem and to the pain point, which is a big bro marketing tactic, but it's also an old school tactic as well in the online marketing world. So it works, right? But long term, when you have a community full of people that are problem focused, really all you can ever market to them is problem oriented solutions, right? Instead of possibility. And the possibility tends to make us all feel more expansive, whereas the problems can be quite heavy. And again, there is a value to companies that are really out there solving problems. If we, given the volume of trauma we have on the planet, most people, when we look at people that do EMDR and offer trauma-based coaching to first responders and survivors of really horrific violations and abuses and so on, like, thank goodness. And people that are really in trauma need that, right? So yes, please do market to that, because that is what you're offering, and it's needed, and people are seeking that out, because they're not even in the world of possibility yet. They just want the pain to go away. So yes, you're going to have to market to the pain. So I'm not knocking pain-based marketing, as you can see, right? There's so many examples of things that really need to be marketed that way. But if you are, and only you will know, if you're truly selling possibility, then using problem-focused language is just going to make it harder for you to sell things. It's going to be harder to market. It's going to be harder to educate the marketplace on why they need to step into your world and step into your offer. So I hope this serves. If it does, let me know in the comments. If you have any ahas from what I shared, please share them, because I'm guessing that other people will as well. Plus, I love to hear it, because it usually helps me as well remember something or create the next live for you. And if you are someone that is ready to operate from a place of possibility and have your energy and your business be a vibration of invitation, so people literally find you and knock on your door, where you actually don't really have to do very much marketing. You don't have to do very much copywriting. You don't have to do very much selling, because there's a certain elevated embodiment of energy that creates it, regardless of where you're at in business. This is one of the main facets of the Penthouse Mastermind that I host. And that is for people that are making at least 8K consistently a month or higher. It's a very different way of doing business. It's how I've created what I've created. Yes, there are some tactical things in there, of course, but I'm all about how do we use energy to do the heavy lifting, and how do we leverage things like relationship currency and so on in order to get to our next level and make our quantum leaps, versus following every marketing tactic under the sun that's going to bubble at some point, and all of the things, of course, we see in the marketing world. So if you're ready for that, and you're ready to really experience what it's like to have ease in your business, and to stop selling, actually, right? And let people sell themselves into your stuff. There's a particular formula I use. Then I would love to chat with you. Just private message me. I know these are private conversations. Send me a private message, and we'll have a little bit of back and forth, so I can see what's going on for you, what you want to create. And then I have a few assessments and audits that I can do on your business to see what we're going to optimize in your company, again, from a place of possibility, not from a place of what's wrong and what are we going to fix. And then we'll see if it's actually a good fit for you. So hope this helps, my friends. I'm sending you off with lots of love. I can't wait to see you next week, and look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.